One of the main tools you need to start a business is an internet connection. There are so many different opportunities out there to start businesses online, and in some cases, you don't even need much more than connection in order to get your business going. The online business sectors continue to grow at double-digit rate. According to eMarketers, there has been 4 times increase in patronage during the corona pandemic lockdown. As online business continue to take a bigger chunk of the traditional retail market around the world, this is a good time to get your online business ideas up and running. However, customer experience plays an important role in an online business. Wondering how to go about this? Then stick with us as we shall be discussing growing your business online on our interview segment of the program. I am Immaculata Udo, and this is TVN Business Daily on Television Nigeria. First, let's take a look at the business stories making the headline. The Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, ABCON, has called on the federal government to suspend all increases in taxes and tariffs until the economy recovers from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The association made this call in its quarterly economic review for the second quarter of the year. While commending the recent decision to suspend the proposed hike in electricity tariff, ABCON urged that the same decision should be extended to the proposed increase in taxes, stressing that shortfalls in the budget as a result of the suspension should be covered with COVID-19 related donations. Similarly, the association has called for a paradigm shift in the foreign exchange market, with the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) focusing on the supply side management rather than the demand side management. In his remark, ABCON President Aminu Gwadabe said that the CBN should look beyond the portfolio inflow, which adds to the public debt, and seek stable and germane sources of foreign exchange. He said the present unification of the exchange rate should also be supported by new techniques and redefined trade policies, particularly to correct the mismatch in import duties, where duties on raw materials are sometimes higher than imported finished goods. The poor state of the telephone services in the country has continued to pitch subscribers against operators. Complaints of network freezing while calls are on, fast depletion of data, inability to access bonus offers, dropped calls, and poor handling of subscribers by customer care agents have continued to rent the air in the last 2 months. As a result, experts have urged the industry regulators to conduct a stress test for all the operating networks to ascertain their level of integrity. Although statistics from the Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC) showed that the quartet of MTN, Globalcom, Airtel, and 9Mobile recorded 2.47% growth rate in the first quarter of 2020. However, the rising drop in quality of services has continued to dwarf this performance. Inconsistent government policies and rising COVID-19 cases have continued to trigger apathy on the equity sector of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, NSE. Consequently, at the close of trading last week, the NSE All-Share Index and market capitalization both depreciated by 0.12%. to close the week at 24,306.36 and 12.680 trillion naira respectively. All other indices finished lower with the exception of NSE CG, NSE Premium, NSE Banking, NSE Pension, NSE AFR Banking Value, NSE AF DIY Yield, and NSE Emery Value indices. A breakdown of trading last week showed that the bearish run persisted as gains on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday were insufficient to lift the market fortunes. And that's our update on business. I am Immaculata Udo. Over now to Chiwendo Osisiagu as she discusses growing your business online.
The growing use of information and communications technology (ICT) by business to online business has a profound impact on the economy. E-business lower costs and increases the choices available to consumers and firms. This microeconomy changes the way to the economy and ultimately influence macroeconomic conditions. Overall, e-business benefits the economy in many ways. Nevertheless, not all the effects of e-business on macroeconomic conditions are positive, and some aspects of e-commerce may limit the effectiveness of monetary policy. Thanks for joining us today on TV and Business Daily. I am Chiwendu Osisiago, and today we shall be discussing on growing your business online. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back shortly.
My name is Chiwendu Osisiago, presenter Television Nigerian Business Daily. In a globalizing world, ours is to keep you engaged, informed, and educated on contemporary happenings in the business world. We therefore command a special audience of business-minded viewers who are eager to know more about business. I mean, your business. Why don't you take advantage of our special affordable offer to let the world know about your concepts, your goods, and of course, your services? You can call us on 080-3071-6959 or 070-3234-9054. You can also visit us at Television Nigerian in Guzapi, Abuja, and follow us on all the social media handles on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, on Twitter at Television Nigerian. Your business is our concern.
Thanks for staying with us, and in case you're just joining us, it's still TV and Business Daily. Like I said earlier, we shall be discussing on growing your business online. Of course, I have a guest with me in the studio. It is the Senior Ambassador and Faculty Head at Emmanuel Perez Consulting and a Brand and Consumer Acquisition Specialist, Mr. Emmanuel Perez. You're welcome to TV and Business.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's good to have you today.
My pleasure.
Okay, first and foremost, what is the one thing that helps the least for you when it comes to building and growing a business online?
Okay, I would say, before now, if you asked me this question, I would have probably had a different answer to this. But first, I would say what tops the list for me is health. COVID-19 has come to show us that a whole lot of things has been wrong with our system going on. But before you can even build and sustain a business, first, going forward, your health has to be in place. So you need to take care of your diet, your exercise, and your sleep. It's very, very important. As leaders, as business owners, this might sound like it doesn't really apply to growing a business, but it does. In fact, what the research shows us is that your sleep, for instance, affects your productivity. It affects a whole lot of things. It helps cancer cells to grow rapidly. So if you're going to be in this game long enough, I think one of the first things you need to pay attention to is your state of mind, your body, and your health. So it's very, very critical that we pay attention to these things: the things you eat, the exercises, and then enough sleep. So that is what I'll say tops my list.
So how do emotions affect the running of business?
Well, that's powerful. Emotions are really powerful. They're drivers of so many things. If you do not have a good grasp of your emotions as a leader, or as a business person, as whatever field you play in, it will affect a whole lot, like your productivity. It will affect the way you even negotiate with people. Emotions affect every aspect of business, because most of the time you think you're making decisions logically. You are actually being emotional about those things based on the experiences of your past and the data points you've been able to pick that influences the decisions you're going to make now. So, customer or another staff member or somebody else, do you still take that same energy into the next conversation? Because things like that, not gaining mastery over yourself, your emotions, your thoughts and your feelings would ultimately cause you to take certain steps, make certain moves that would probably or most likely not be in your best interest. Okay, right now in the heat of the moment, they might feel like, oh yes, I have to express myself. Okay, but at the end, you will look back and think to yourself, oh, okay, I shouldn't have done that. I probably shouldn't have done this. Okay, because there's a way emotions can cloud your judgment when you are not in control of them. So gaining control of your emotions, I mean, check all high flyers, all peak performers. One of the things that they learn to do, is to manage, at least in front of people. Okay, they might have a nasty attitude or character behind the scenes, but right there you see them being able to manage things, control things, direct things properly, and lead. It's one thing to boss people around, it's another thing to actually lead people. Okay, so understanding the difference and choosing where you want to stand, because if you choose to just be bossing people around, just throwing emotions everywhere at people, you find out that you would not be able to keep people long enough. You would struggle with, because the truth is, as a leader, one thing most leaders fail to understand is that your customers are not your customers. Your staff members, your team are your own customers. The way you treat them will determine the way they treat your customers. Okay? Because you as the leader, you're making decisions at the strategic level, you're making the top line decisions. They are the ones right in the face of the customers, interacting, exchanging with them and all that. So the energy that you do not sustain, that you pass down to them, is what they would also transfer. It's like garbage in, garbage out. You remember what the topic is?
So what would you say about when business people say customers are always right? Do you believe in that? Okay,
the truth is, we all know that there are times that some customers are overbearing. They just come and just do things that are not that are not right. Of course, we were taught to say to believe that customers are always right, just to frame our minds to be able to relate with them and give them the best of experiences with us, regardless of their own reaction. It still goes back to emotional intelligence. So as the leader, if you do not know how to manage your emotions properly, what example are you setting for the staff members? Because at the end of the day, if they've seen you in different scenarios, manage yourself properly, okay, then they have no excuse to mismanage themselves in front of other people. So this thing, it's like a chain. It's what they get is what they can give out. You can't give what you don't have, basically. And as a leader, you're supposed to lead. You're supposed to show how these things should be done. So if you treat them well, okay, I think regardless of the way the customers react, they will be sensitive enough to manage the situation. And also that connects to training too. As staff members, as a leader, what is your budget for training? How often, and what kind of things do you put them through? Do you just put them through the tactical things like, how to use Excel, how to use Microsoft Word and all that? Or you also, from time to time, take them through other soft skills, other trainings that are necessary, especially with engaging with your clients or customers. So all of these things would also help manage, insensitive customers. So customers are not necessarily always right, but that is just something that is being communicated most of the time, so that you have a framework to work around. Now, okay, if I assume that they are right, and this person is right in front of me yelling and all that, what can I do to first take responsibility? Okay, all right, madam, all right, sir, I'm sorry, what can I do to make this work? So when scenarios come up like that, the person knows what to do, but it starts with you. It starts with you, really. So yes, in a sense, customers are always right because you have to treat them right. But also, we know that they are not necessarily right. And then sometimes you can be in business, and because you do not clearly define the kind of people you want to serve, right? You just get all sort of people. You start to just attract different people, and then most of these people are not a good fit for your organization. And what ends up happening is there's this friction at the end of the day. Okay, but if you build a movement, if you create an idea around what you do, and you serve it to a particular audience that you are called to serve, then at the end of the day, even when you go wrong, they're willing to forgive you. Check the top brands, even Apple and all of these guys have made mistakes, okay, in some of their productions, their products and stuff like that. But you see, they release the next model, and people are still lining up to get that brand, because it's not just a product or a service, it's now an ideology. Okay, so that way, because they built a story, a narrative around it, a lot of people want to be a part of it. So people are really seeking to be a part of something big, an idea, a future cause. And when you give it to them that way, to a large extent, it reduces things like, customers always having friction.
Moving forward. Okay, do you think people should actually run their business online? And what's the benefit of running business online?
Oh, yeah. Let me answer it this way. I think every business in this day and age should first be a media company, a technology company. So you should be online, but serving your customers a particular product or service. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So first off, your assignment should be online. The conversation is no longer about whether you should be or not. As long as you are post-COVID, you should have representation online, because except you're choosing to stay within the confines of your environment, stay local, then that is the only time you will not have. But because the borders have been broken down, you have no excuse not to be able to attract or purchasing power from America, from China, from every other part of the world. Okay? So it's very, very critical that you set up a platform online for engagement, such that you can attract and retain people through that process. You should set up a system, and by a system, I don't just mean setting up a website or starting a blog. Most of the time, that's what people think. Just set up a website or set up a Facebook page and just put up all your products and all that. Setting up a whole system. There are people that sit in the comfort of their homes, and with the image they've built online, you think that it's a multi-million-dollar business. Okay, and they're attracting clients, sealing deals, and doing a whole lot of things right from a home office. Okay, so there's a whole lot of benefits. I mean, these days you can go online and get virtual assistants. There are people that right now, I know a few people that run their businesses and they don't see their staff eye to eye.
Oh.
Yes, they employ cheap labor from places like the Philippines.
Okay.
Train them, everything online, and those people get to work. Okay, those people run ads, do everything, get clients in the door. They just stay, seal the deals, and all that. And they pay those guys. So the whole system has been so broken down in a simplistic form that you really don't have an excuse not to be online. You really don't have an excuse. Most people would rather go the traditional method, take millions, go and pay for a shop, a store, something, and put the products there, and you're waiting for people to come in and buy. And the truth is, if you can spend millions getting the shop, spend millions on getting products, then why can't you spend money on marketing? Why can't you spend money on social media? Because most of the people you want to reach are using one form of social media platform or the other. Most of them are congregating on some groups on Facebook. Most of them are on some Instagram influencer. You just need to know where your audience is and reach them. But most of them are online these days. So everything is now mobile. Everybody wants to consume content at their own pace. Everybody wants to watch movies, see Netflix, for instance. Everything is now about my time. When do I want to do it? I want to do it on my own terms. So if you cannot reach people on that platform, you're leaving a whole lot of cash on the table. So it's critical that people pay attention to that.
Okay, there are still a couple of businesses that are not actually online, but your businesses are actually thriving so much.
Yeah. Of course, I'm not trying to say if you're not online, you will not thrive. Okay? But consider the possibility of what you could be doing, how much more you could be achieving, just being on a platform that is global, that has no restriction. Okay. So I know there are very, very few, maybe like 1% or less than 1% of businesses that really might need to be online. But for the most part, most of the businesses should have a representation online. I mean, when you talk to somebody about what you do, one of the first things they want to do is go and check you out online. Having a representation online right now is almost like a sign of credibility. So somebody wants to do business with you and does not says, okay, this person has this company, and you can't find the person online, then the person starts to doubt if you're real or not. The person's wondering, are you sure I can do business with this person and this person will run? Okay, so most of those things, people want to go online, check reviews about your company, what people are saying about it before they engage with you. So imagine how many people you are losing to just the fact that you're choosing not to be online simply because you're already fine the way you are, So.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. Let's take a quick break, and after the break, we'll continue with our discussion.
Business world, we therefore command a special audience of business-minded viewers who are eager to know more about business. I mean, your business. Why don't you take advantage of our special affordable offer to let the world know about your concepts, your goods, and of course, your services? You can call us on 080-3071-6959 or 070-3234-9054. You can also visit us at Television Nigerian in Guzapi, Abuja, and follow us on all the social media handles on Facebook, YouTube, and of course on Twitter at Television Nigerian. Your business is our concern.
Thanks for staying with us, and in case you're just joining us, it's still TV and Business Daily, and we've been discussing on growing your business online. My guest is here in the studio who has been discussing with us on that. He is the Senior Ambassador and Faculty Head at Emmanuel Perez Consulting and a Brand and Customer Acquisition Specialist, Mr. Emmanuel Perez. Okay, my next question for you today is that, what do you say about the fear of starting or losing money in business?
Fear of starting or losing money business.
Yeah. Let's just focus more now on online business, especially for those that want to start online business.
Okay. What I'll say is that first, the cost of starting online is not as much as starting physical business. But at the same time, I think you should settle it that the first time you try something, you most likely would not, get it right the first time. So settle that. But for how long will you keep waiting and keep being afraid of trying? What if it works out? So what I suggest is learn what you should. Okay, learn enough for you to build confidence and start. There are some people that they call them SIBs. They are serial information buyers. So they keep trying to learn and learn and learn and learn, thinking, oh, I don't know enough. With what I know, if I start, maybe I'll fail and all that. And they keep buying this course, going from email marketing to learning how to do e-commerce and all that. And then they never really try something out for the fear of failing. But you have to. Sooner or later, you realize that time is going and you need to take action. So I think the moment you settle it that you might not get it right the first time, okay, it will help frame your mind. Take action, find people that have been doing these things for a while, network with people, learn from them on the go, and keep tweaking and optimizing. Check it. Most of the big companies fail every day. They keep testing and optimizing. Okay, so it's pride for you to think you would ever get to a point where you would know it all and then jump in. By the time you get to that point, the moment you jump in, a lot of things would have changed. Maybe the technology, something would have come and disrupt the system, and then you would have to start learning the process, and you would wish you had started a long time ago. So they say the best time to start is like 10 years ago. The next best time is now. So just start and let that fear die. So balance learning and doing. Okay, so as you learn, you keep implementing. As you learn, you keep implementing, and keep evolving as fast as you can, to your own pace. But design something that is workable.
Okay, so for those that are starting now, how do you think they can actually reach their target audience?
For those that are starting, to reach your target audience, this is a whole you can take a whole day talking about this. But basically, let me break it down to 4 simple steps.
Okay. 1,
who is your target audience? You need to define that. Okay. What kind of person? You need to design an avatar. Oh, so person. I make pap for new mothers, nursing mothers that have babies between 6 months to so my pap does this and this and this. Now you've designed who your target audience. Where are they? So you need to find out where they are. Some of them are on groups for women. There are nursing mother groups online and all of those things. What's the bait? So the bait is what you put in the hook when you're fishing that attracts the fish. So what is that thing you're going to give out that will attract
people to?
Okay, so you get to some websites, for instance, and they say put your email and your name here and get this free blah blah blah. Get this free course, get this free ebook, get this. What is it that you can design for the target audience? Okay, for those nursing mothers, is it a free event that will bring them into a place and you can teach them on the value of the things you use, millet, this and this, and how it helps build the brain of the child from blah blah blah, whatever it is, that your product does. You talk about it and all that. What is it you can give as an ethical bribe to get their information such that you can begin to market to them? So that's the bait. Then the last thing I'll say is the results. What do you want to get? So your product or your service is like a vehicle, and you look at it that right now they are in a less desirable state. They might be conscious of it, they might be aware of it, and sometimes they might not, depending on the people you're targeting. But there is a more desirable state. Okay, that is the result you want to achieve for them. Now, your product or your service is the vehicle that takes them from the less desirable state to the more desirable state. So, what results do you want to get them? What result would your product or your service deliver to them? Okay, so if for instance, people that have diabetes, for instance, they know they need a solution. Okay,
Yeah.
so they are conscious that, oh, I need to deal with this thing, right? So the way you craft your messaging and everything would be direct to that pain point. But for a nursing mother that you want to sell out to, she necessarily doesn't think she needs you. Okay, she has other options until you come, and then the way you craft your message to such a person has to be such that the person now feels like, oh my God, I'm missing out on a whole lot. I didn't know about this. So you now need to educate them. You need to, so the messaging kind of takes a different turn, you know. And most of these things you can do them online, okay, except you choose to have a physical thing, but these days online will do it. So yeah, so where are they? Reach them where they are. Give them a bait to ethically collect, you know, their details, and then decide what result you want to give them, because the result would affect a whole lot with the copy writing, the emails you send, whatever medium you're using to communicate with them. They have to always, you have to keep re-emphasizing the pain that you're going through and keep showing them the results that they could possibly have as a result of the vehicle of your product. So that is very, very important.
Okay, now thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. Your final take now.
Okay, I would say that you start now. Do what you can, you know, with what you have. There's no perfect time. There's no perfect time. Now is the perfect time. All we have is now. The moment you say tomorrow, when we get to tomorrow will be today. Okay, so it's just an illusion. Time is a lie. You have to start now. This is all you know. This is all you have, and this is all you always have.
Okay.
So just do what you have to do. Get in there, roll your sleeves, network, connect with people, collaborate with people. You know, a lot of people always want to get, this is my business, I'm, 100% shareholder. It's better to have 10% of something than to have 100% of nothing. So sometimes you might have to get some people and say, okay, I don't have money to pay you now, but you take shares in my company.
Yeah.
Because they have skills you don't have, they have expertise you don't have. You don't have to start learning every aspect, one by one. You will not be effective that way. Stay on one thing. Get other people that are good with other areas and build something that will last. Okay, build it to last. So I think with that you would do well. So just move.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel, for coming on TV and Business. It's good to have you today.
My pleasure.
You said it all, and I hope our viewers have learned something from you. Start now, instead of just staying at home and just relaxing and probably wait for the government to do something for you. You don't know that.
The governments are busy thinking of themselves right now. So
and thinking of this COVID-19, how to So just instead of staying at home, just start now. Connect with people. I think most importantly, to grow, you have to connect with people.
Exactly.
I thank you, and that's too much you have for you today on TV and Business Daily. I am Chiwendu Osisiego, and don't forget that you can follow us on all our social media platforms at Facebook and YouTube, and of course on Twitter at Television Nigerian. Do have a wonderful day. Bye for now.